Hello, I'm Rupa Bhattacharya, Special Master of the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund, also known as the VCF. The VCF provides compensation to injured individuals or their surviving families who were present at the World Trade Center or the surrounding New York City exposure zone, at the Pentagon crash site, or at the Shanksville, Pennsylvania crash site at any point between September 11th, 2001 and May 30th, 2002, and who have since been diagnosed with a 9/11 related physical health condition. In 2011, the VCF was reopened as a 5-year program with limited funding. In 2019, the VCF was made essentially permanent and is now accepting claims until October 1st, 2090, and has sufficient funding to pay all eligible claims. We are very pleased to be part of the effort to help people better understand who is eligible for the VCF, for our sister program, the World Trade Center Health Program, how these two separate programs interact, their distinct eligibility criteria and registration processes, what services are available, and how to access them. For more information about the VCF, please visit our website or call our toll-free helpline. You can also follow us on Twitter.
What is the difference between the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund and the World Trade Center Health Program? It is very important for everyone who may be eligible for the VCF to understand that the VCF and the World Trade Center Health Program are two separate programs. Each has its own registration process, eligibility criteria, and mission. The programs work closely together in many ways, and the VCF relies on WTC Health Program certification of 9/11-related physical health conditions when reviewing VCF claims. While the WTC Health Program is administered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and provides medical treatment for 9/11 responders and survivors, the VCF is administered by the U.S. Department of Justice and provides financial compensation for those who have been diagnosed with an eligible 9/11-related illness and who meet the VCF's eligibility criteria. Enrollment in the WTC Health Program does not register you with the VCF or file a claim on your behalf, and registering with the VCF does not enroll you in the WTC Health Program. After you have registered with the VCF recommends that you wait to file a claim with the VCF until after you have enrolled in the WTC Health Program and been certified for a 9/11-related physical health condition. Who is eligible for compensation from the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund? There is a common misperception that the VCF is only for first responders. This is not true. In addition to first responders, compensation is also available to those who participated in the response activity through work in construction, cleanup, and debris removal. It is also available to survivors, which includes those who lived, worked, or went to school or daycare or otherwise spent time in the affected areas between September 11, 2001 and May 30, 2002. The affected areas include the World Trade Center site, the surrounding New York City exposure zone, and the routes of debris removal, the Pentagon crash site in Arlington, Virginia, and the Shanksville, Pennsylvania crash site. The CDC estimates that 400,000 people were exposed to toxins on 9/11 and during the weeks and months that followed the terrorist attacks. While it is not yet known how many of those exposed might ultimately contract an eligible condition, currently the World Trade Center Health Program has over 100,000 enrollees, and the VCF has over 100,000 registrations. To be eligible for an award from the VCF, you must meet the following criteria. Register with the VCF by the deadline applicable to your individual circumstances. Show that you have a 9/11-related physical injury or condition that is certified for treatment by the World Trade Center Health Program, or in limited circumstances, that you have a physical injury or condition that was treated by your private physician and verified as 9/11 related through the VCF's private physician process. Show that you were present at an affected area at some point during the period beginning on September 11, 2001 through May 30, 2002. If you received an award from the original September 11th Victim Compensation Fund that operated from 2001 to 2004, you must show that your VCF-1 eligible injury or condition has substantially worsened, or that you have a new physical injury or condition, or a new loss that you had not suffered at the time of the VCF-1 claim filing, or that was not compensable at the time of VCF-1, and that you have not already been fully compensated for your losses. In addition, to be eligible, you must dismiss, withdraw, and/or settle any 9/11 related lawsuits by the appropriate deadline. If you are filing a claim on the victim's behalf as a personal representative for a deceased victim or for an incapacitated adult, you must show that you have the legal authority to do so. File your complete claim no later than October 1, 2090. What is the first step in the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund process? The first step in the VCF process is to register. Registration is not the same as filing a claim. It simply preserves the right to file your claim in the future, and you do not have to be sick to register. When you register, you do not waive any legal rights, and you are not obligated to file a claim. You will need to provide basic information, including name, address, phone number, social security number or other ID, and date of birth. It is important to emphasize that by registering with the VCF, whether you are sick or not, you are simply preserving your right to file a claim. For this reason, the VCF encourages early registration for all potential claimants, even if you are not sick or certified by the WTC Health Program. If you are there, you should register. If, on the other hand, you have been certified by the WTC Health Program for a 9/11 related physical health condition, there are associated registration deadlines that you must meet. You may register at any time, so long as you do so before your individual registration deadline. If you are not able to access a computer to register online, you can register over the phone by calling the toll-free VCF helpline. Once you have registered with the VCF, you will be provided with a VCF number. You should make a note of this number, but if at any point you do not remember or cannot locate your VCF number, you can call the VCF helpline for assistance. Is there a deadline to register for the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund? Yes, but registration deadlines vary based on individual circumstances. There are two steps in the VCF's process: registration and filing your claim. It is important to distinguish between the two and be aware of the time frames applicable to each. Registration is the first step in the VCF process and serves only to alert the VCF that you may be a potential claimant, and it meets the legal requirement of timeliness set forth in the law. Registration preserves the right to file your claim in the future, waives no legal rights, and does not obligate you to file a claim. The registration deadline is not the same for everyone. It varies according to individual circumstances and is generally 2 years after the latest date on which the World Trade Center Health Program certifies your physical health condition as 9/11 related. Full details about registration deadlines are on the VCF website, and the VCF encourages early registration, even if you are not yet certified. The second step in the VCF process is claim filing. This is when you file your claim with the VCF along with all information and supporting documents needed for the VCF to be able to process your claim. Under the law, the VCF cannot accept any claims filed after October 1, 2090. There is no other deadline for claim filing, but the VCF encourages you to file your claim after you have been certified by the World Trade Center Health Program for a 9/11 related physical health condition and as soon as the full scope of your claimed losses are known. Call the VCF toll-free helpline or visit the VCF website to find out your deadline. Once I am registered with the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund and have been certified by the WTC Health Program for a 9/11 related physical health condition, what do I do? Now that you have registered and been certified, it's time to file your claim. You will need to answer questions on the claim form that tell the VCF why you are eligible and the types of compensation you are seeking, and submit certain documents. The online claim form, available on the VCF website, includes detailed instructions to help you navigate and complete the claim filing process. As a reminder, you should only file your claim after the WTC Health Program has certified your physical health condition. If you have already set up an account in the online claim system and are ready to file your claim, log into your online account. If you have registered with the VCF and received your VCF number, but do not have access to your online claim, there is a step-by-step guide to access the online claims management system on the VCF website, or you can call the VCF helpline for assistance. Once you are in the online claim system, you will be able to file your claim by completing and submitting the claim form and required supporting documents, including signed authorization for release of medical records. This allows the VCF to go directly to the WTC Health Program for information about your certified conditions. Signature page. This allows the VCF to get information from other entities in support of your claim, such as your employer, your union, or workers' compensation. Your signature on the signature page also acknowledges that you understand that you are submitting information in support of your claim under penalty of perjury, and that by filing a claim with the VCF, you are waiving the right to file a lawsuit seeking compensation for your 9/11 related injuries. Proof of presence. This includes documentation that shows that you were present at a 9/11 crash site, in the New York City exposure zone, or along the routes of debris removal at any time beginning on September 11, 2001 through May 30, 2002. The personal injury or deceased claim checklists, which are available on the VCF website, provide a list of other documents that are required for your specific type of claim. It is important to carefully review the applicable checklist to be sure you submit all of the necessary documents. How do I prove to the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund that I was present at one of the 9/11 crash sites in the given time frame? Proving that you were present at one of the 9/11 crash sites in the New York City exposure zone or in any area related to or along the routes of debris removal is a key requirement to be eligible for compensation. You must provide documents to show the VCF where you were, when you were there, and why you were there. When determining which documents to submit to prove your presence, consider the end result the VCF is trying to achieve: independent, third-party documentation that verifies where you were, the specific address or location, when you were there, the specific dates or timeframes, and why you were there, activities you were doing. Two types of documentation, third-party verification and contemporaneous documents, are particularly helpful in establishing presence. Third-party verification of presence that is mailed directly to the VCF from the employer or other third party with specific dates and locations is often sufficient to verify presence. If your office or work or volunteer location was located in the New York City exposure zone, or you were present at a 9/11 site because your job required you to be there, you should provide your employer or volunteer organization with a third-party verification form, which is available on the VCF's website, and instruct them to send the completed form directly to the VCF. If the form submitted does not provide sufficient detail regarding your presence or about the source of the information contained on the form, the VCF will contact the employer or organization in an attempt to obtain additional details. If the VCF is unable to confirm presence by speaking with the employer or organization, and other presence documents, if any, are insufficient, then the VCF will contact you to request additional proof of presence. The second form of proof of presence is contemporaneous documents, documents that were created in real time during the September 11, 2001 through May 30, 2002 period that are kept in the ordinary course of business. These documents are extremely helpful to establish presence. Examples of contemporaneous documents based on employment include those listed on the screen. Examples of contemporaneous documents that may be helpful in proving presence based on residence include those listed on the screen. Note that this is not a comprehensive list of acceptable documentation. If you have filed your claim and you have a document that you believe can be used to support your claim or your presence at a 9/11 site and it is not on the list, you should submit the document to the VCF to be reviewed. At least 2 sufficient documents, whether from this list or otherwise, are required. The VCF recognizes that contemporaneous documents may no longer exist or may be difficult to obtain. If you have tried everything and cannot get contemporaneous documentation or a third-party verification form, or if you only have one document and need additional proof of your presence, you can ask someone who saw you in the New York City exposure zone to act as a witness on your behalf. Your witness can provide a statement in support of your claim by completing the VCF Witness Presence Statement. Absent other documentation, you must have a minimum of 2 people provide witness presence statements on your behalf. At least one must be from an individual who is not related to you. Witness presence statements are also useful evidence to support other presence documentation you submit. The VCF Witness Presence Statement and additional resources to help you identify documents that you may submit to prove your presence are available on the VCF website. Remember that you do not need to submit your presence documentation until you file your claim. But once you have an online account and have registered with the VCF, you have the option to upload presence documentation to your claim to store it for future use. The VCF will not review the documents until you file your claim, and at that time, the VCF will contact you if anything more is needed. What types of loss does the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund compensate? Once the VCF confirms that you have met the eligibility criteria, it will review your compensation information. The 2 main categories of loss compensated by the VCF are economic loss and non-economic loss. Non-economic loss, often referred to as pain and suffering, is determined based on the nature and severity of your conditions and the effect of the conditions on your activities of daily living. It does not take into account economic loss caused by the condition, and it is not based on the number of conditions for which you are certified. Claims seeking only non-economic loss are the simplest and fastest to review. The second type of loss, economic loss, includes compensation for earnings or benefits that you lost because you could not work as a result of your eligible condition. In appropriate cases, it can also include past out-of-pocket medical expenses, replacement services loss, or burial or memorial expenses. Loss of earnings or benefits must be based on an inability to work due to a 9/11 related physical disability, and in most cases, is based on a finding by a third party, such as your employer or the Social Security Administration, that you were disabled as a result of your 9/11 related physical health condition. Each award is calculated individually. As required by the law governing the VCF, your final award will be calculated using this basic formula: non-economic loss plus economic loss minus collateral offsets. Collateral offsets are compensation from other sources that you received or became entitled to receive as a result of your eligible injury and must be subtracted from the VCF award. Examples include Social Security benefits, disability pensions, and life insurance. Do I need to hire a lawyer to file a September 11th Victim Compensation Fund claim? You are not required to hire a lawyer in order to file a claim with the VCF. You may hire a lawyer to represent you if you want. It is up to you. The VCF will not recommend specific attorneys or provide any type of referral. If you do decide to have a lawyer represent you and file your claim with the VCF, then under the law governing the VCF, the lawyer may not charge you more than 10% of your VCF award. The VCF will not reimburse you for fees charged by your lawyer and does not get involved in any disagreement about fees that may occur between you and your lawyer. Where can I go to find more information about the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund? For more information about the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund, and to find out if you are eligible as an injured responder or survivor, or if a family member passed away as a result of his or her 9/11 related condition, please visit our website at www.vcf.gov or call our toll-free helpline at 1-855-885-1555. You can also follow us on Twitter.
The VCF is proud to have helped so many in the years since 9/11, and we remain dedicated to assisting our current claimants and reaching out to the unknown number whose health may be impacted in the coming years. Our mission remains as vital today as it was when we began over a decade ago. My team and I remain deeply committed to the 9/11 community and devoted to ensuring that all those who need assistance will receive it for decades to come.